Hey everybody, Roxabox90 here with another Cube Thinking Inside the Box video. So this one we're going to talk about my general thought process for the artifact and colorless cards in my cube. I can definitely use feedback on, and also maybe this will give newer players like me who are figuring out what to put in some of my thought process. So Karn Liberated, of course, is the one colorless planeswalker, and he's, while not ridiculous in cube, he's certainly a near finisher if you do land him. He's so powerful and hard to get rid of. Then we have Hex Parasite, which lets you kill planeswalkers, mostly is why he's here. He also messes around with counters and can get more powerful. Then we have the Arcbound. They just work really well with other artifacts and they give +1/+1 counters. We have Spellskite, which redirects. It's always good for value. Immolating Soul Eater can end the game in one blow even. Phyrexian Revoker is a lockout card. It shuts down planeswalkers, shuts down quality artifacts, enchantments. It's very good. Mire Retriever just helps with artifacts, and you can feed it to things like Skull Clamp. Perilous Mirror does damage. It's worth its value. And then we have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Mires, whatever you call them, and that tap and add, so they fit into any deck, which makes them really flexible for cube. Alloy Mirror is also one of those cards. It's very flexible for 3+ color cube decks. Silent Centurion is artifact build, very heavy. Frogmine also. There's a lot of artifact help because I really want artifacts to be viable in their own build. They shouldn't need to be certain colors. Artifacts should be artifacts. Good in decks and also on their own. Razormane Masticore is just pure value, and in cube it works really well. Wormcoil Engine, one of the best artifact creatures ever printed. Of course it'd be in here. Myr Enforcer, again, is good for artifacts. Myr Battlesphere gives you a ton of artifact creatures, so it can, on its own, give you Metalcraft and can give you the affinity that you need. Very strong card for 7, usually ends the game. Colossus of Akros, big, scary artifact. It's kind of insane. As is Darksteel Colossus. There's lots of ways to cheat big creatures into play. It's a theme I have in this cube, so having a lot of big creatures is viable. Blightsteel, Darksteel, Tinker is in here as well. Of course, if you can team those two up, it's pretty ridiculous. This is my proxy Kozilek. I have a real one, but it's in a deck. So for now, I have a proxy Kozilek and a proxy Ulamog. And a terrible artist that I am, I tried to do a little imitation. Then we have Imrakul, of course. Works really well with cheating into play. You win the game. Non-creatures, we got Engineer Explosives, which is a nice wrath, especially against tokens. Everflowing Chalice is ramp. Lotus Bloom is ramp. Torment's Crypt gets rid of graveyards, good against Reanimator, which is a theme in here. Chromox, more ramp. This is the one I had lying around. This is the one that's in here. Then we have more ramp. Chromatic Star. These ramps fit into anything. Artifacts, any color decks. Relic is also good against Reanimator. Voltaic Key, huge synergy with artifacts, especially powerful ones, so of course, great. Ether Vial is pure value in cube where you want to save your mana to play as many things as you can. Soul Ring is the first pick probably in any pack you would get because it's too good for its own good. Now Spellbomb's more Reanimator hate. Pirate Spellbomb's shock effect, good for red. Ether Spellbomb is good for blue control. Shrine is basically just for mono red, but you can use it in 2 colors too. Prophetic Prison is more ramp, but it also gives you card draw. Contagion is removal, and the Proliferate helps a lot with planeswalkers and tokens. Cold Steel Heart is very flexible color, though it hits blade tapped, it's so good. Ratchet Spellbomb is also removal against a lot of stuff, it's very flexible. Isochron, in cube, there's a lot of cheap spells because they just work, and this card lets you use them over and over again. If you throw a counter spell on this, it's pretty insane. Then we have 4 of the 5 Talismans. I have the 5th Talisman incoming, but they're nice Painland flexible option, very budget. Then we have all the Signets because they're so good. We have all of them. And I think these are some of the most powerful ramp cards you can possibly get if you're in the right colors. Mimic Vat is long-term win, I guess. Bosium Strip is really good. People don't realize how good it is until you start running a heavy control burn deck, and this card can give you long-term synergy. Chromatic Lanterns, of course, multicolor help. Skeleton Shard is really good for artifacts. It helps you get your artifacts back. Coalition Relic is ramp. Darksteel Ingot is ramp. Sands of Delirium. This card is seriously underrated It's so strong in cube, especially if you're running mill, which I'm trying to make an archetype in the cube. Sands is hugely necessary. It's so good. Crystal Shard bounces things back. In cube, you often tap out, so this can give you long-term advantage. Quicksilver Amulet cheats things into play. Icy Manipulator is one of the few ways to deal with things like Imrakul and Blightsteel and Iona and any huge creature. This card is so strong, even though it costs 4 to play. Long-term advantage, it's amazing. Mind Slaver gives you an extra turn, it's kind of fun. Paradise Mantle, it's good ramp, cheap. Skull Clamp, who wouldn't run Skull Clamp in cube? Oh, Naginata is nice if you're running beatdown, especially green, white aggro. Bone Splitter, also more aggro help. Sword of the Meek, there is an infinite combo here with Thopter Foundry, but it's also just a good card on its own. Lightning Greaves, Boots, because we need to have awesomely broken equipment in cube, and of course Jitei's insane, as are all 5 swords. So I have all 5 of them in here. And I also have Grafted War Gear. So that is pretty much, these are my artifacts for my cube. As you can see, this is my general thought process. If you guys see cards that I'm missing, cards you would recommend that are better, or you just want to talk about the general thought process of putting together a cube, feel free to leave those comments down below. If you like this video and want to see more cube videos, tap the like button to let me know your interest. And as always, Roxybox90 signing out. I'll see you guys next time.